Hello guys, welcome to Saturday, and today we're gonna do quite a lengthy design work stream. So I haven't been streaming a lot lately because of the life and stuff that's been going on in it, and today I just kind of sat down and tried to think of a way to get excited about work again, and kind of like reduce the amount of stress that I already have in life. And you know, a lot of my projects that I have laying around on my hard drive are this massive, ambitious characters or environments, and it can be very stressful to even start working on something like this. Because you know the amount of work that goes into it. So, hey Jeff. No buts today. Sorry. So the idea that I have is instead of shipping a full character, I want to work on kit bash sets, on something very small and very that doesn't take a lot of time to put together, and at the same time it can inspire bigger concepts, bigger designs, and in the end, when I'll have assets that I'll be able to use to on my other designs, and it will also be a fun practice with Zbrush tools and 3D code tools as well. So I started thinking about the kit bash pack and what I could focus on, and the idea I ended up with is I'm gonna group them by functionality. So whether it's handles or pistons or joints or wheels for mechs or characters or vehicles, and then we're gonna have I don't know, modular caves and stuff like that, where everything is kind of categorized by its purpose in a design. So, and as you can see, like looking at this list I have here, it's quite overwhelming. But just because it's categorized, I can, you know, make a door handle there, add a piston there, and it's like I plan to use this to get myself back into a routine of doing streams, and then also practicing my skills and improving my design skills as well. After all, making one joint is much faster than creating a full robot, and so yeah. The only requirements that I have is that all assets need to be as low poly as possible, so I could potentially use them for a final topology. I want them to have creasing, dynamic subdivision support, and they need to be UV unwrapped. So that's it. Without further ado, let's start planning some of the assets out. So there's obviously a lot of kit bash packs out there on the internet. So the first thing I did is I just searched for Zbrush kit bash, and kind of took a look at what's out there. And obviously I'm not going to be copying exactly what other people did, but this is a good starting point or inspiration for some of the shapes that I'm going to be modeling. And today I'm gonna start with the most basic thing, just handles, the first thing on my list. And what I've done is I went onto the internet and I found some different handles, handlebars, levers, and stuff like that. And I use the word handle loosely because some of them like look more like buckles, but this is purely for functionality inspiration. So I'm not going to be modeling this type of a handle because it looks boring, but I know exactly what its functionality is. It's just a simple handlebar. And this guy, you twist it to lock or unlock the door. This guy, you turn the key and you pull it. So that's the main reason I have all these images. So yeah, let's and I know if you guys watched any of my previous streams, you guys know I'm all about starting out in 2D because it allows for very fast and quick iteration. So let's start thinking about it. And don't worry, I'm gonna get into Zbrush today. I just wanna have a little to-do list for myself to figure out what exactly I'm gonna be doing today. And this part I'll probably gonna be pretty quiet about while doing it because it's really self-explanatory. I'm just looking at the images that I see, and I create stuff inspired based on that functionality or shape. And I'll try to go through it as fast as possible. So this guy. I'll probably use more of a square brush. Nope. So these silhouettes are the easiest way to start a design. They don't require much in terms of skills or even the knowledge about what you're trying to do, because you can always like adjust it as you go. And actually, okay, let's try something like this. Probably just stick to the brush because it's going to be faster than erasing. So I'm just I'm generating the ideas so I don't have to struggle or like figure out what I'm doing when I'm in a Zbrush stage. Here, what we could do also, something like this where the handle is like a cylinder. And then it sticks out, and then there's a connection point like this. Perspective is off, but it doesn't matter. I also like a little bit more organic shape where it goes like this. Then there's also this nice shape where it's attached to the wall, and then there's like some buttons here. And these are not necessarily strictly just door handles. I can use them. I'll play with the variations so they can be used on like mechanical robots or spaceships or whatever. So this would have like a platform thingy, and then there maybe would be something like this where the handle sticks out. And you don't, if you feel like this approach is too tedious or it takes too long, you can always also just grab an image and do a kit bash. So let's try that. So here's a handle, straighten it. Hold and Alt to draw a straight lasso selection. Okay, so how can we sci-fi it up and make it more interesting? Well, let's move this, and let's grab this. Do something like this. We can duplicate that thing. Okay, so all right, and these bolts aren't really sci-fi, so maybe instead we'll get rid of them. And instead we'll use some kind of a more modern looking mechanism. And then if you want to make things look more interesting, trying to avoid using just straight lines only. You can pull this out. Or we can do the reverse where it's more like this. Maybe actually this part would be underneath, and I'm gonna adjust the value. And with the eraser we can also create like a secondary details here, like panel lines or whatever. I mean, this is just loose sketching. It's obviously not symmetrical and looks kind of weird, but it's a general ideation for the actual thing. I'm not gonna bother refining these concepts too much because I'm gonna be modeling this all in 3D. So that's pretty cool. If you're a perfectionist and you want it symmetrical, just delete this, duplicate in the mirror. So plenty of approaches. You can do line drawing, or you can even start and start blocking shit out in 3D, but it's up to you. Whichever you prefer. So here we have thing and the door handle, or the handle sticking it out of it. And maybe it'll be cool and add like a thing where you can grab it with your fingers. Alright, well, this is a pretty good start. I mean, it'll probably take me at least an hour to get through all these shapes. And it gives me a loose idea of what I'm actually be doing. And I can easily adjust and experiment here before I even open Zbrush. So in terms of 3D assets, like I said, I'm going to be using Zbrush mostly for Zbrush's low poly modeling tools like Zmodeler and such. I might be using 3D Code for some of it, but then I'll have to retopologize, which is obviously not ideal for something like this. I'd much rather have, because these assets are so simple, I'd much rather start modeling them from the beginning. So let's look where we are. Here's Zbrush. Let's grab a box. Yeah, why am I struggling? Alright. So let's move my Photoshop onto my other screen so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, and let's start very simple. For sides, yeah, doesn't really matter because I can always change this with this guy. Use the cube that doesn't have anything. Alright, and let's switch to Zmodeler. So first thing first. So on my other screen I have my quick sketches, and I also have this guy, and here I can like actually look at some of the more details that I like and borrow them from different images and combine them together. Alt drag to select this, and I'm just moving it. Okay, so we have this part. And then this is gonna stick out and form our handle. Now we need to taper this like this. And this is one way to do it, but one thing I wanna do is make sure that these guys work well with dynamic subdivision. So there's a few things we can do. QMesh would do some stuff like this, which is great. Of course, I need symmetry. So what I can do basically is kind of do that first, and then do the clip. This way I have less of a geometry to be worried about. So that I want a hole right in the center, and here I kind of have like this two edges. So let's see, we can just simply move it over. Yeah, the problem is, of course, this. Slide. Nope. Let's try partial. And you can see it slides like the part that I don't want to move, so I can just mask it. Get this in place. And we get a perfect split. Click. And excellent. It's a little bit off, but doesn't really matter that much in the long run. Oh, looks like I messed up one part. Let's just do mirror and weld, and you can see it mirrors over from the wrong side, so I can just mirror it, mirror and weld, and then mirror again. So dynamic, I can see it's looking pretty good. We can make it a little bit more interesting here. Okay, so we want to mirror it over, and for that I'm just gonna do mirror and weld, except we're gonna do it on Z-axis, right? Or no? No. Y-axis, there you go. And now we have a very tiny baby handle. Get rid of symmetry. Move it over. Re-enable symmetry. Mirror and weld. And now I'm gonna enable Y-axis symmetry as well. Beautiful. So now if I grab like bevel, for example, we get it on both sides. So one thing that I'm a little bit worried about, or like I don't particularly like, is the topology on this entire piece. Let's grab a slide and even it out a bit. And I can also use clip brushes to even this if I need to. Control W to group polygroups. Actually, instead of doing Control W, because I'm gonna lose the nice stuff in the middle there. Something happened with my circle. It's not as great anymore. Let's fix it. Yeah, I can always just use a clip to refine it further, but let's see. So what do I want to group? So in terms of clip circle center, let's try that. So I'm placing it in the very center, and then I'm holding Alt so it clips this nicely. And you can see when I'm smoothing it out, it's looking pretty good. I don't like the wobbliness here, so let's try to resolve that. And the way I would probably do it is bevel, or we can just take this and Q-mesh it. Oh hi, I Sutter. Yeah, I have an art station. Let me link you to it. There it is. Okay, so if we take this and we Q-mesh it a bit, it will give us some extra topology, and you can see it's smoothing out the border much nicer. So that's pretty good. And I mean, so I can like detail the shit out of this, but the balance is like how detailed do I want to be before it starts getting I'm starting to get too much topology, right? Because I can, you know, go crazy here and create as many variations as I want. So that's something that I think I'm gonna get better as I keep going through this pack and keep creating more of these. But here's a quick door handle. I mean, I like, so yeah, always trying to judge it based on silhouette, and the silhouette here is pretty goddamn boring because it's literally just a rectangle with two holes. So let's get rid of that and make it this. Another question is, do I need holes or should I be putting bolts in here just to make it look more so when I place this handle on my kit bashed asset, I don't need to manually place bolts. I think bolts should probably be included. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I include bolts or should I not? Another thing is bevels. Right now, I mean, I could add a little bit more beveling onto this, but if I'm doing bolts, then I probably shouldn't. So let's see. I'm gonna get rid of select lasso, and then get rid of this geometry here. There we go. And then I'm just gonna delete it. Delete hidden. And then with Zmodeler, let's cap it. close, I believe. So one of the things is with this close command, canvas vehicle. I believe I can do collapse. But I could also just use stitch, 2 points, get rid of fallout, click the solo and just do this. Click on the first point. I'm gonna kill symmetry for now. And just clean it up this way. And this whole thing I can probably get rid of altogether. Now, you could do it this way with Stitch, but as you can see, it takes quite some time. Since I started it this way, I'll just do it this way. And now, of course, if you wanted all quads, you can just do delete, edge, boop, oh, boom, 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 done. Let's do re-enable symmetry, do mirror and weld, and hopefully did the proper side. Nope, it did the wrong side, damn it. Mirror it on Y, mirror and weld, mirror back. Alright. So let's add a bolt, shall we? Perfectionist in me really hates this. Let's round it up. Can probably just start one from scratch here. Wait, so split. There we go, much better. And I can probably just use this to support my edge loops. Or actually better, here's the trick. So if I go and delete edge loop complete, bam, nice and clean. Q mesh, no, what am I doing? I want this stuff. And you can see I have the Q mesh creases edges, so if I re-enable dynamic, it's not bad, but probably could use a little bit extra love. So let's insert and Q mesh a poly loop. Yeah, so you can see when I Q mesh, it tries to snap it to the geometry around. So what I want to do is disable. It's disabled. It's disabled. No attraction, maybe? No. Yeah, so this part I never really fully understood, but the easy way to do this actually is just insert an edge, and this way you can control exactly how far you want it to go, and then do this. And there. And now let's just bevel the top so the asset is catching a little bit of a highlighting. And we can do crease. So pretty good. So I think that's fine for this asset. Now let's clean up some of the topology, because the stuff is not going to be really visible, and also I want to clean up the polygroups too. Just make it all nice. How do I want to combine it? This guy probably can be combined with this. And then this combined with this. Yeah. There we go. And then the part it's attached to can be probably just one polygroup. And all I'm doing is just I'll drag in this part too. Yeah, so pretty good. I mean, optimization wise, we could delete this whole bottom part because it's probably going to be attached to a surface, right? But I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay, let's move on. Let's do something stupid simple. And actually, I'll duplicate and then replace this with a cylinder. Wait, what? Please turn off your symmetry. Alright. It's so nice it's asking me and saying please. Okay, so we have a cylinder. Let's add a don't care about subdivisions really. Disable dynamic. I think it's looking fine. And let's inset this. Inset region. I wish there was a way to set the defaults for Zmodeler, because I almost never inset a single poly, it's always the region. So something like this. And then Q mesh. Let's do flat island. Flat and polygroup. There you go. That's what I wanted. Hey Tom. Alright, so we have this part that is extruded. Now is the tricky part. I want to take this and I want to bend this bad boy 90 degrees. How would you do this? I know exactly how to do it in Maya. It's pretty simple, but I never done this in Zbrush, so let's see. Bridge, crease, do nothing. Do nothing is not the right command, I don't think, because it won't do anything. Mesh brush. Zmodeler modifiers. What's that? Weird. Transpose. Spin edges. Spin. Would a spin do it? Oh no. Hey, that's cool. Wait guys, let me spin this face. Whee! That's cool. Spherize, scale, mesh. I know there is one. I think it's bridge. pretty sure it's bridge. Okay, let's try this. So I'm gonna take this. No, I'm gonna take this flat thing and holding control, I'm gonna separate it out, and then I'm gonna add thickness to it. No, add thickness to it, and then I'll take it and I'll move it in place. So now I have two things that I want to connect, right? And now I'm going to do bridge two pulleys. Beautiful, isn't it? Bridge connected pulleys. So that's lame. So what does it do? I'm confused. Lets me create a little arc, I guess. Bridges two pulleys and yeah, it turns it into an arc. Neat. Commercial mask inset, insert file, point, spin, spheroid, scale, mesh. Spin edges. Spin edges isn't gonna be it. Well, that sucks. How do I join two things? I have an idea. So let's try deleting this. So we have two open holes. Now I'll just do flat and polygroup. Bam. And now on edge we're gonna do bridge, two holes. That's probably what it is. Oop. Now there you go. I did it, guys. I did it. Is everyone as excited as I am? Okay, now I just gotta do. There you go. And now there's a little bit of a crappiness going on there because it's merged. Let's see if there's any options. Optimal. Nah, I'll do it manually. Alright, so how do we clean this up? There's ways. We can do merge by distance. Bam. And you can see it welded it all nicely. But there's gonna be issues with topology this way, so let's hide the stuff we don't need. And see. I think for now, delete edge loop complete. If we preview it dynamically, do I like it or do I not? See, that kind of a task, I think it would be probably easier just to do in Maya, but I might be not have enough experience doing this type of work in Zmodeler, and that's why I'm kind of the main purpose of me doing this is so I'll learn to be more efficient at it. And hopefully you guys will learn a few things along the way. This feels like not the most efficient way of doing this. Taking forever, but whatever. I want to be done with this. Cool, so we have nice optimized topology. Actually, wasn't that bad. What I'm going to do is move this guy a little bit further so I have more room for that transition to happen. God damn it. Really? So something along these lines, and then bridge two holes. There you go, and let's just smooth it out a bit. Much better. Mirror and weld. Where's my thing? Yep. Alright, so we've got the handlebar. Mirror and weld, so we have symmetry. Activate symmetry. And it's working. Now let's have some fun with this. Q-mesh a poly loop to extend this, and we're gonna add some holes, because why not? So just gentle tap to create a bunch of the same diameter. Looking cool. Now, do we need to make them go all the way through or not? That's something I'm not sure about. Alright, so what's going on here? This is a triangle here, while on this side it's a quad. Not sure why. Okay, I know what. So to fix this, let's split this, and now you can see we'll have a quad. Perfect. Kind of old school, but I like the circular detail. Now let's optimize this a bit, polygroup wise. And let's add some creasing. Crease, edge loop complete. Not quite what I want, but I can do crease by polygroup. Except we have a little bit way too many. Group by normals should do it. And then we're gonna combine these all together. Actually, we'll get pretty well. I want a little bit more separation here in case if I want to do something to these little holes opposed to the rim that goes all the way around. So I'm just gonna hide this guy and then combine these together. And shortcut is Control W. Okay. So now let's do mirror and weld, and it's always on the wrong side. So there we go. And now let's crease polygroups. Bam. And now that polygroups are creased, I can, with the crease brush, just add a little bit more softness where I need to. So we've got this old school looking handle, and we've got a more sci-fi looking handle. So let's, I don't know. Let's see what can we do about it to make it cooler. I'm gonna duplicate it and see if I can create a more interesting variation. Using slice. That's a weird handle, man. Now, of course, our cylinder is a little bit weird here. We can just always rotate. And adjust it ever so slightly. I like the center gizmo to the unmasked region function, because it lets you rotate around the pivot of your unmasked geometry. Oops. All right. And now let's see. Q mesh, polygroup. Looks like I have a symmetry on X, I want it on Y. Yeah, that's an ugly looking handle. I don't like that. But what I can do is use it as a starting point for a different design. So let's get rid of this and this as well, and delete hidden. Cool. So what can we do? I'm gonna close holes so I have this nice face to work with. And Q mesh polygroup island should do fine. There you go. I'm freestyling it at this point. So the handle comes out. I want to have some cool angle here. Hey, what if I try trim? Let's see. So what trim does is that it deletes the face and it creates this flat, nice fill, which in a dynamic mode you can see it's kind of messy, but what I can do now is I can extract it like this and probably let's do a bevel. And you can see it creates a nice hard edge here. And here we're gonna, what's going on? There we go. And then let's do poly loop. Oh, so you can see very simple, but pretty cool. Bevel, crease polygroups, and now with crease brush we're gonna increase the stuff you don't want. Pretty good. Can I collapse this entire thing into one word? That's what I want to know. Okay, well, let's see. Collapse starts with C. Not here. There's collapsed edge. is similar to what I want, but not really. Actually, I know. So let's get rid of this polygroup altogether, like the geometry-wise. So delete flat island, flatten polygroup. There you go. And now with this edge, I'm gonna collapse the whole. Bam. Worked better on this side, but I got a little nice little flower here. That's cool. Mirror and weld. Wrong side. Mirror and weld. Mirror. There. Done. And let's see if we can make it a little bit cooler. Maybe make it longer. And this entire thing, let's see if we can add some kind of a connection. Actually, okay, so do this and I'll add cut. That didn't work out well. That's better, somewhat. Okay. So there's gonna be a hole there. And then here, I'll insert an edge loop. What I'm looking at is a detail like this. Let me show you the reference. Either something like this where it's like a nice little overlap, or, and my mouse fell on the ground, 1 sec. Where is it? Struggle is real. I got it! Alright. Either that or something like this where it's just like a really nicely joins in. So how do we do this? What I could do first I'm gonna nicely group it, and I can use panel loops most likely. So if I take this and then this, I'll have a nice panel loop around this geometry, and for the time being I'm gonna combine. I shouldn't have added circle too early. That's my big mistake. I keep adding circles too early, and then I do stuff and the circles are getting broken. So don't repeat my mistakes. Polygroup, let's just copy paste it basically. So shift pick. Oh wait. There you go. Okay, so with this, I'm gonna select my parts, and if I go to panel loops, let's see what it'll look like. No polish. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? So let's adjust it though. We can increase the thickness. Yeah. Also, it's double-sided, which I don't want, and then we only want maybe one loop. And too much thickness. Okay, so I wanted to connect to this main body a little bit more. Like I don't want this panel here, panel A. So I'll just grab delete edge loop complete, zoom in, nice and close, and delete a few edges. There. Oh, I will be using booleans. It's just all these assets are so small that it doesn't really. I don't need booleans here, and I want to get better at like remembering the Zmodeler commands, because there's so many edge cases and it's all like in this one giant piece of UI that it's pretty hard to remember. While booleans are nice, I mean. This could be easily done with a panel loop. The stuff that I just did. Where's my music? I'm looking for. Oh, there it is. I have too many screens. Alright, so Q mesh. Inset. not like a single poly, it's easy. Okay, so it's not bad, but it's a little bit because of that edge loop that I added. So let's see if I can clean this up a bit. So how would I do this? Well, what I can do is using Stitch, adjust topology a bit, add endpoint, and let's see, where should I put it? This would do. Okay, and now that it's cleaned, I can take this edge and delete edge loop partial. Bam, and it does not what I want. Why do you have to be difficult, Zbrush? And I don't want that either. So really? So I'll just do it very manual way. I was really hoping for an improved Zmodeler toolkit for this update, but they went with booleans. I'm not complaining, but alright, so this is clean. This needs to be cleaned. Alright, let's see what it looks like. So you can see a lot more rounder and nicer. There is a crease here that I don't want. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. Let's just add a little bit of a bevel here. Really? Oh, there you go. freeze polygroups. Don't particularly like this hard edge here. Or yeah, so what I can do is enable mask by polygroups. Just grab this one bird that's giving me pain and move it off. Technically, actually, I could just merge them maybe. The problem is that I have a lot of birds that are close together, so I'll have to do it with Zmodeler. Stitch is on. There we go. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, there's a crease that I don't want. Crease. Pretty ugly. So let's actually do something with booleans then. See if I can do it faster this way. Split unmasked. This is going to be subtractive. Booleans on. Should I just do it all the way through? Slide the edge over. That's pretty cool. Just needs a little bit extra detail. I might not even need this subtractive one, because I can just do union on this one. So this guy I'll delete. And now we can adjust the shape of this thing. Poly group, no. Inset, poly group all, and then QMesh. Nice and cool. So let's just optimize the handle, and then we're gonna boolean this whole thing together. Obviously I don't care about this part because it's gonna be obsolete once the thing gets booleaned together. And then we have some extra edges here that I don't want. No. I will delete. Just trying out an idea here. Not bad. Let's try again. So, what happens if I delete this edge loop? This edge loop. And then I clip it. Of course, I added this circle a little bit too late, early. Let's see, what can I slide this in? There we go. An easy way that doesn't distort the geometry too much. Thanks for joining, Tom. See you later. If you guys have any questions, make sure to post them in chat. I'm keeping an eye on it. What else can we do about this shape? Okay, so mirror and weld, wrong side, mirror and weld, mirror again, mask this guy, move this in place, and reactivates symmetry. What I want to do is adjust the scale a bit, it's too big. So with local symmetry on, there we go. So polygroup wise, let's optimize this piece. It's gonna be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but and the polygroups are going to be handy if I'm doing a clown mask or texturing down the road. So I'm trying to think of it in terms of different material types, or where I would want some material separation. So good enough. Let's turn it into a boolean. Um, So this, as you can see, is not really working well. Let's see if I enable. Oh, this happens. Let's fix this mesh. Dynamic. Dynamic make boolean mesh with dynamic subdivision. You can see this is much better, but I doubt I'd be able to reconstruct the subdivision here. So let's test it. Yeah. So I wanted low poly and I wanted it to also subdivide properly. And the dilemma is, how do we go about this? Well, I could technically do this. So let's see. I'll duplicate this guy and I'll scale it up, make it subtractive. And this way, you see we have a hole in there. Hey PPFPS. So, I don't know why it's displaying weird over there. Could be just a visual bug. Yeah, most likely. So yeah, let's try this. I'm gonna do boolean mesh. Go over here. And you can see we have very clean cutouts that clean to a point. And then we have this part that basically didn't change. All the increasing is gone. But let's see if we can clean this up really quick. Delete. Hidden. And then this guy. I don't know why it's fully grouped this way. sure symmetry is on. Oh no! Alright. Let's see what I've lost. Fingers crossed. Okay, so we just need to redo the little part of it. Alright, so where did we left off? This we don't need. And then here we can merge these two. And symmetry wise, it's not the X symmetry, it's Y symmetry, and make sure local symmetry is on. There you go. And now just bevel this part. Let's delete the center. And let's see what we have. So I want to basically connect these two. Or alternatively, let's undo this part and then do dynamic. So the problem is that I don't have an edge loop that supports this part, and because it's all triangulated, it gives me weird geometry. I could try to crease it. Actually, just for a test, let's crease polygroups and let's see how good it is. And you can see it, it's pretty decent ish. But yeah, it could be better. Decisions. Why did it? I know why. Okay, so let's try something here. I wanna clean and without any weird artifacts. So delete edge loop partial. Nope. That's my Why wouldn't it just delete one edge? Because it wants to be everything to be quads. Alright, let's try a different approach. Okay, so now that we don't have that geometry, technically we shouldn't care about it anymore. I'm gonna delete it. And now I'm gonna delete just the edge. Oop. Stitching will probably be easier in this case. Stitch. There we go. I feel like there's probably gotta be a better way to do this. Okay. Delete hidden. Close these. Delete an edge. Alright. So now we have a much cleaner topology here to begin with. It didn't close the edge properly though, as you can see here. Alright, that's better-ish. Let's stitch these two. There we go. What the hell was that? Yeah, now I have to do the same here. Annoying. Now, how do we connect them two together? Should be fairly simple. Well, now that I cleaned up the topology, let's see if we can do it by just doing the booleans. Stitch, I guess, is the best way. I feel like I could have inset this area and achieved the same result without going with a separate subtool and then merging it back together. In fact, like a lot of my trouble in ZBrush that I'm experiencing with modeling low poly with zero measure is that there's a certain order of things that you kind of have to follow and a certain mindset. Traditionally, I would model like a separate piece and then merge them quickly together, but in here you can see it's resulting in more work than if I did something like this, where I just take this part, I inset it as a region, and then I Q-mesh it. Q-mesh polygon. And you can see it's like with the 3 clicks I am basically where I am here, and like it took me a lot of work just to do something very stupid and simple. So let's see if we can adjust this to match closer to what I'm trying to achieve. So I'm just gonna grab rectangle, mask it. That's good. Now let's test it. You can see it's looking pretty good. And now all I need to do is just, well, let's align it closer to the body. I mean, That's already pretty good. I think the only problem that I have here is this word needs to stick out a bit more. I'm just literally going to inflate it. Okay. And now let's add the bolt, split. Bam. See how fast this was? And it's actually looking much better, and there's no weird artifacts. Alright, I hope you guys learned from this. There's this crease that I don't particularly like. Maybe I'll bevel it instead. You can see the handle's looking pretty good. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 handles. The last one took me some time, but I had some failures. But let's move on. For a change, let's try something a little bit more sci-fi. I'll just literally grab a box. A little bit too much topology, so let's do something like this. Get rid of faces that go this way, and then this will do. Okay. Gizmo 3D. Let's hide the rest so it doesn't get in the way. Something like this. Maybe let's slice it. Mirrored welds. On y-axis, and we need y symmetry and y-axis mirrored welds. There we go. You could take this, move it out. And we can crease by tolerance, so let's do a 90-degree crease. There we go. Okay, that's cool. If you're a perfectionist, you could try doing stuff like this. Not like this. So you see you have like this shape that you can grab and open, right? Now let's think of a frame for it. Literally grabbing this and extracting it. And I can use a clip just to flatten the back. Now, just delete this edge loop so it's cleaner, and maybe we'll bevel this part. I want it beveled just on one side, so let's mask the back. Now let's try this. There you go, that's what I want, I think. Not bad. Getting tired of looking at the same matte cap, so let's change it up. I'm gonna split it to parts so I can do slicing to one piece without modifying another. Oh, it's okay. Okay, and now I can do stuff like this. I don't like this, the top part. I want to taper it more. Let's see if we can do it with this, with the trim. Trim triangulates, which is not ideal. I'm not super happy with the frame yet. Let's mirror This is somewhat interesting. Let's go with some booleans. So the cool thing is, well, I'm able to, with booleans you can do the very high detail and smoothness design. The problem with this is that it's not going to be low poly if I apply it with dynamic subdivision on. And that's something I'll have to consider, because if you guys saw my initial kind of planning on this, is I want my assets to be as low poly as possible, so I can use them potentially as game models or whatever, and I want them to be subdivided with dynamic subdivisions where it's possible. Now, if I were to apply this, obviously it's not going to be, and it's not going to match the criteria that I wanted to have. But I'm not too worried right now. I'm kind of just making this up as I go. what I could do is use booleans to kind of preview the details and where I want them, and then just do the low poly application after the fact. So for example, I know that I want this rounded cutout here, so why won't I just take a slice and cut this? And I bet I did it on the wrong side, so let's just repeat this here. Mirror and weld. And now I can take this and whoops. Single poly, demesh. Strange. Oh. Okay. Let's do polygroups by normals. There we go. And now can adjust it further. Slide, partial, increase. We can insert a little shape here. And you can see it starts to shape into something more along the lines of what we want. I'm starting to get a little bit tired because I've been talking for a while. Holy loop. Pretty cool. Alright, so if you grab the handle, which let's make it a little bit more grabbable, and you rotate it like this, I feel like there needs to be a little bit more of a gap here, so you can actually grab it and open it. So let's take this, invert it, and then see if I can bevel it. Actually, I'm gonna insert an edge loop somewhere around here, and then hue mesh. Oh. Hue mesh this part. Except I want to keep this. So let's insert another edge here. Then hue mesh. Oh, come on, buddy. There we go. That's what I wanted. So now if I repeat the same process with rotation, you can see it's a little bit more believable that this thing would actually open. And like I mentioned earlier, trying to avoid straight lines. Just making things a little bit more interesting. Trying out an idea. And let's crease this guy. Or maybe instead of creasing it, I'll slide it down just so it's a little bit less slopey. Slide. There we go. I don't remember beveling, extruding that part. Let's see if we can delete it. Yeah, that's not good. And let's do polygroups by normals. Mirror and weld. There. Maybe crease by polygroups. No. Ah, no, there goes my mouse. I need to better cable management. So one thing I don't like is the overall proportion of this thing. So let's enable that multiple subtool selector and select both of them. Disable symmetry, center the gizmo, and squish it in a bit. Because it's a low poly mesh, I can easily adjust the form without messing it up. Creasing is a little bit too harsh on this part. Let's bevel it instead, so we have a control over how strong we want it. Actually, I don't think I want any creasing. So that looks pretty cool. Let's wrap it up. Maybe this bottom part feels a little bit too straight and sticks out way too much. Slice. Now the back, of course, is could use a little bit more flatness. There we go. Oh, that's pretty cool. When I did mirror and weld, I got a seam left behind here, as you can see. Easily fixed by doing weld points. Crease weld distance, bam, done. The only problem is my bevel got screwed up here, so I'm gonna undo that. Mask it, and then weld points again. Yeah, masking doesn't affect it, so I'll just split and mask points, and bam. I don't remember these guys not having the caps. Do I have like a geometry on the inside here? No, it looks fine. Oh, no it doesn't. I'll just do split the parts. Okay, these two can go. The back, I feel like we could flatten. And this piece can... I'll probably fiddle with this design a lot more because it feels okay, but there's some issues with it. There we go. Alright guys, so I'm getting tired. I'll continue this in the next stream. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you have any questions, make sure to send me a message. Let me just show all that we've done today. So we've got a simple handle. We have an old school handle, and then we got fancier handles, and then this is like a locker handle. So I don't have a set goal on how many assets I'm gonna do per this particular pack, but if you look at my little plan that I did, so there's a lot more to come. I think I'll, before I continue adding to this, I'll do a more detailed pass on actually designing some of these elements first. Because as you can see, the parts that I had designed in the first place, they took a lot less time to create, as opposed to me kind of winging it on the fly like this one, which it's okay, but it's not well thought out. But yeah, once I have the designs in mind, I'll be able to, I'll know how many I'm actually gonna do. And yeah, if you have any requests for Kit Bash pack, and like what assets you'd be interested in seeing me do live on a stream, let me know. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Cheers. Oh, I can't find mouse. How do I stop the stream without a mouse? Classic. Okay, later guys.